Hi everybody. Thank you so much for being here. I'm Tammy. I'm the Siberian Wind, and we have Cathy from My Hobby Home joining us again tonight. Welcome to Land That I Love. If you have not already purchased a book to complete this quilt and you want to know more about it, there is a link in the description box below the video, or there should be. If you do not see a link in the description box below the video, let me know and I will fix that, but I think that it should be there. So I'm glad you guys are all here today. I see Jess and Judy and Glenda and Laura. Oh, you guys. And Jean, welcome in, all of you. Thank you so, so much. Laura is saying these lives always cheer me up, as today I need it. I fractured my back on the 10th. I went to the ER yesterday. I had an MRI confirming everything, and now waiting for the spinal surgeon to call. Oh my gosh, Laura. That you're not supposed to be doing that kind of stuff. That's supposed to be stuff that I'm supposed to be doing for you. You're supposed to let me do that for you. That's not cool. You're not supposed to be not supposed to be injuring your back. Just saying that. You're not supposed to be injuring your back.
And this close to Christmas, oh my goodness,
Right.
no.
And she's caring for her husband who just had shoulder surgery, and her dad who lives
Yeah.
with them. She's got a full plate, and now she's got surgery coming up on top of it. So
Oh,
goodness gracious. So I am working. You guys are gonna see my horribly stained ironing board. This is my little tray table ironing board. I've got a lot of seams to press open. So that's what I'm going to be working on down here. What have you got going on yours, Cathy?
well, if y'all are following along how this was intended to be done, you will be doing what Tammy is doing. Me, I'm the slowpoke, and I am still working on my blue blocks, but I'm completing all 36 of my little blue squares. I already have the rows sewn together, so all I have to do is pin and sew and press, and that will be done. So if I run out of that this evening, I do have my red and white fabrics right here.
Yay!
Um, That's the bag they gave me when I bought all the fabric. So I'm like, it'll stay there. It'll stay safe. So I have that there just in case. But I'm a slow sewer and a slow presser, so that's probably not going to happen this evening. But I do have these. I have 18 of
Ooh,
these so far.
yay!
And I don't know if you can see it in my background, but right over here, you see that white curtain?
Yeah.
That is my design wall now.
Oh, very
That
cool.
is hanging on hangers, and when I use it, I can open it up and hang on it. And when I'm not using it, I just pull it over to the side.
Oh,
So
that's sweet. I like that.
that, yeah, that's my little idea of how it's supposed to work. Now I don't know how it actually is going to work, but that's how it's supposed to work.
And I will apologize in advance, you guys. My hands are going to end up being in the way. I am right-handed, and I put the camera on the right-hand side, and my tray table moves a lot, so I do apologize. Welcome into the chat, Terry. She says, "Good evening, ladies."
Well,
And
hello, Terry.
Laura says, "I'm telling you, I can't wait for this year to be over. You and me both." Um, kind of like I kind of want the year to last just a hair longer. Um, I've got part of the stuff that's going on with me. I now have to wait for things to happen, and so I'm kind of hoping that 2024 hangs on just a little bit longer and lets my 2025 stuff take take a front seat. Oh. Oh, Judy's asking you a question. Cathy, do you want to
Oh,
demonstrate that design wall? Oh, you got it, Judy. She's got.
there
Oh,
you
that's very
go.
cool. That's so cool. Like I looked down, I wasn't looking. So yeah.
Oh, here you go.
Oh, that's
I
awesome.
just grab it and pull it when I need it.
That's
like
awesome.
that. And I mean, I can actually stretch it so it's not wrinkled up like that, but I'm not going to need it tonight. So,
We're not there yet.
no, I'm not there yet.
Laura
I
says,
need to get some blues done.
yeah, Laura says, thank you all. I appreciate any prayers or positive thoughts faith will get me through. And Chloe, welcome in, lady. She says, hello,
Well,
Tammy,
hey,
Cathy, and all.
Chloe.
It's very sweet to have you here tonight. You've got a lot on your plate, lady.
Yes.
Oh, you've got a lot on your plate. Now, I will say that might mean that you have the bed to yourself tonight.
Yeah. Well, that's not good considering why, though. But,
Yeah, I agree, but then you don't get kicked off the bed.
well, hey, I have mine too. My husband is in Phoenix, Arizona tonight. So I
Oh.
always enjoy that.
Hi, Katie. Katie
Hey,
from
Katie.
Greenland Quilters joined the chat, so thank you, thank you. Yeah, so last night my husband took some meds that make him really, really sleepy. So he's actually in bed right now. That's how sleepy these meds make him. They really just they knock him out. Um, so he's in there sleeping right now. So that means he probably won't sleep tonight. But last night I woke up and there were I didn't even have enough covers to go to my side of the bed, the edge of the bed on my side, and I got up to
Mm.
go see where all the covers were, and they were like hanging down on the floor on his side. I have a cover hog for a husband.
Yeah. And that's me in my marriage. I'm the cover hog.
Well, my husband accuses me of hogging it, but I have photographic proof that I am not the cover hog.
That always gets them when you have that photographic proof.
Well, if I'm not fighting with the husband for covers, then it's pulling them out from underneath the dog. Because the
Yeah.
dog gets up there on the bed like he's supposed to, but he gets up there on the bed and you can't move those covers out from underneath a 60 something pound dog.
Mm.
That is like asking for I don't know. That's like asking for, blood from a rock or something. It just does not
Yeah.
happen.
Now, my cats sleep in the bed with me. Normally, they're at the foot of the bed,
Uh-huh.
but I have my Oscar. He sleeps close up to me. I mean, not like up here. He'll sleep down by my side.
Yeah.
But I have to fight. I have a duvet that I pull up because that thing is really warm.
Okay.
Because it has a down. Well, I have a duvet cover with a duvet.
Yeah.
The duvet is oh, what's that called? Down. It's down.
Yeah.
So it's really warm. I didn't realize how warm those things were when I
Mm-hmm.
bought it.
They get really
And
warm.
so my duvet cover is fuzzy. It's one of those fuzzy ones.
Uh-huh.
And
Oh, I think we lost you for a minute. Cathy is going to
we are
have.
not that up close and personal.
We lost you for a second.
Uh-oh. It doesn't surprise me.
Katie says that her and her husband have their own blankets in the same bed that they sleep in. And then Judy says that she has the bed hog. And then Katie says that she actually barely uses a blanket at all. See, I would be more likely to kick the covers off once I get in bed and I get settled. I can kick the covers off a little bit. But getting in bed, I need those covers. I need those blankets. And so if I get up in the middle of the night, I need those blankets when I get back in bed. They may not stay on me later, but I need them for first thing when I get back in that bed. Glenda says, just me and my two quilts. So we actually, that's kind of what we have. We have our, of course, the flat sheet. You've got the fitted sheet on the mattress, but then we have the flat sheet on top of that. And then we have one quilt that I made. And then we have a quilt, if you want to call it that. It's one of those cheater quilts that Walmart sells. And we bought it. Our bed is a queen, so we bought a king size. So it lays over the top of our quilt and keeps all the dog hair out of the quilt. So we can wash it more frequently. So it's technically 2 quilts, but only one that's quality.
Yeah. I think we all may have a cheater quilt.
Well, I love the design on it. I'm so wanting to recreate it. It would be really nice to recreate it. I think it would be a cute design. And it's not a hunter star. It's kind of, gosh, Tiffany did a quilt with that kind of design. And it was a star pattern. And I can't think of the name of it.
Is it the Ohio Star?
I don't think so. It's She used all half square triangles and squares to make it.
Yeah.
But I'd have
that
to
could
look.
be any number of stars.
There's so many stars in quilting. Laura says that she needs the quilt for the weight. She tried a weighted blanket, but they're too heavy. I felt like I was wrestling all night. Yeah. See, I can do a weighted blanket, but my husband can't. It's definitely, he feels like he's wrestling with it. I personally, I get underneath that. And if I did not have my service dog laying on my legs, the weighted blanket, and I'm done. Like I get settled and I'm done. Carpenter Star, that is what I'm thinking of. That is the name of it. Carpenter Star. So it's got a lot of those all over it. It's not one big one like what Tiffany did. Because I mean cheater quilt it's not going to be. But it's like reds and blues and very rustic home kind of looking. But it washes really well.
Yeah, that is the one good thing about those. They do wash really well, and if they don't and they come apart, it don't matter.
No, it doesn't. I have seriously thought, and so this may be a 2025 project. I've seriously thought about taking and making what would be classified as a summer quilt. So the backing and then the top. And I would just need to make sure I literally stitch through every piece so they're all stitched together. And basically do 2 layers of cotton. Or I might put a layer of flannel in it and make a new quilt top cover that I can wash in my portable washing machine. Because it needs to be oversized for that bed.
Yeah, we did the same thing. We bought a king size bedspread because I don't like comforters. I just don't like that big fluffy. Yeah. I like something thin. And because they don't wash, those things do not wash well.
No, they don't. I have one of those bed in a bag comforters for traveling, for retreats, for twin size beds. And that's the only thing it'll ever get used for.
Well, see, we used to have one like that for our camper. And when we stopped camping, I got rid of it in a heartbeat. I think I actually put it in the camper. When we sold the camper, I'm like, here, you'll need this. I ran in it. We actually had it stored in an old suitcase. And I think I gave them the suitcase and everything. Because I'm like, we don't need this anymore.
You couldn't get rid of that fast enough, huh?
No. And actually, my husband that was something we had before we got married. So I had no ties to it whatsoever. So I didn't feel bad about getting rid of it.
Laura says that her weighted blanket is only 10 pounds, but it was too much for her. Husband doesn't use many blankets. He just pushes them off to the center of the bed. We have a king because he is 6'5". Yeah, when you got somebody 6'5", you need a king. They need that extra room. My puppy has decided that now is the perfect time to come hang out. Haven't you? Yeah, you have, haven't you? Can you not knock my iron off, please?
Now my husband, he is, I think he's like 6'2", 6'1", 6'2". I'm only 5'2". So, but when he is in, I know this is going to sound strange, but a lot of times he sleeps in his office because he
Okay.
works nights.
Gotcha.
And he's used to staying up at night, and he don't want to keep me awake with him not being able to sleep. So sometimes he ends up sleeping in the office when he's in, his office.
Yeah.
Hey, Cookie.
Hi, Becky. Welcome in.
She's only here and we'll catch the replay.
Hey, that's perfectly fine. Chloe says that she has to have a blanket too. Yeah, I am definitely one of those blanket people. If it was effective for me to carry my weighted blanket with me to retreats, I absolutely would. But I had to have the dog sleeping on my legs when I went to retreat just to keep that continuity going because I'm just so used to it now.
And me, as long as I'm warm, I don't need any. If I'm warm, I don't need as long as I have a sheet on me, I'm fine.
Yeah.
And that's in the wintertime. Well, I mean, that's the summertime too. Summertime, I could do with just a sheet. But I keep my house about 65, so I have a bedspread at least on.
Yeah.
Or the cover. I mean what is that thing called?
The duvet. Well, you've got
Yeah,
the
the
duvet.
duvet. I can't think of words today. My brain is sleepy. My
Oh,
brain wore out today.
he is laying on my iron cord. Can you move, please? Thank you. All right, you can lay back down. You can settle. Yeah.
Your pieces are looking really good there.
Thank you.
I'm sitting here now. Y'all see me looking down. That's because I have a tablet down here. I watched the video too with y'all. Even though I'm on it, I'm watching it with y'all. But that's so I can see the comments. I
Well,
like to see the comments.
I get to make cookies for Saturday, and I think I'm going to make gingerbread cookies.
Oh.
I've got a recipe that I found for high altitude gingerbread cookies, and I've been dying to try it. Last year, somebody had made a cookie tree. So you make the cookies and you roll out the dough and you cut it with this special set of cookie cutters, and it makes this tree shape.
Oh.
Oh, Laura, she says her brain is mush today. She has an excuse. She's taking pain meds. Yes, you do. A lot of you ladies have excuses tonight that are very valid.
Mine is just because mine is tired. It's tired. I haven't caught up from last weekend getting my sleep.
Oh,
I will one day.
I've been running 90 to nothing. I've been working on that temperature quilt, and I was supposed to stitch on it all day yesterday. And with all the stuff that I've got going on that happened Tuesday and that I'm dealing with, I could not, for the life of me, focus on sewing yesterday. So I got a little bit sewn, and then I got it laid out, and then realized that I am I'm 16. I don't know. I'm short. I haven't cut enough pieces. So I've got to cut more pieces tonight.
Yeah. I was going to ask you, have you seen that Fat Quarter Shop is going to be doing a Lori Holt sew along with the hometown? Is that what that book is called?
Oh, no, I hadn't seen that, but
I saw it on the Jolly Jabber today. And they said stay tuned for more information. They're trying to do the color coordinated things and all that.
Yeah.
So they haven't released the information yet on it, I don't think.
Okay. Well, there's another one. Chloe sent me the link to it, so thank you very much, Chloe. You're enabling me. I so want to do it. I don't know that I can fit it in the budget. It's not that expensive, but I just don't know that I can fit it in the budget right now with everything I've got going on. And but it is constellations, and then you can
Oh,
get the mountains or clouds or any of the other expansion kits to go with it. And it's gorgeous. It's so gorgeous, and it's kind of like right up my alley because I am very much a constellations and galaxies person. Oh, welcome in, Jean. Let's
hey,
see.
Jean.
Laura says, I love a good spice cookie. I love gingerbread, ginger snaps, even snickerdoodles in a pinch. I do usually gravitate to the sweet cookies. My cookie go-tos are sugar cookies, but they have to be good ones. They can't leave like an aftertaste in your mouth. I can't do those. Like, they have to be good sugar cookies. But I gravitate to sugar cookies, occasionally to gingerbread. It's not my most favorite, but I have a killer, a killer chocolate chip cookie recipe. One of my husband's buddies had said, make sure the missus knows that I miss her cookies. Because we moved up here to Wyoming, so I moved with my cookie recipe. Oh, Jean says that she loves chocolate chip cookies. Yeah, so I'm gonna make. I think I'm gonna do the gingerbread ones for the little Christmas tree, and I haven't decided what kind of icing I'm gonna do for it yet. And so I think I want to try to get like a bamboo skewer and put it down the center of the tree and prop each layer on gumdrops, maybe. I don't know. I don't know if it would work.
Mm.
Chloe says, Jean, my husband is okay. He is in the hospital waiting for a stress test tomorrow. I think it will go okay, but he has a cardiac history. Yep, so we will definitely be sending lots and lots of prayers. The best place to be if something does happen is to already be at the hospital. So that's not the worst that could happen, thankfully. But it's definitely stressful either way. Lots and lots of prayers going out.
Well, let's see. My go-to cookies are my favorite cookie is oatmeal raisin cookie, and I know a lot of people don't like oatmeal raisin.
I like
I
those.
love them. And my next one is the snickerdoodle. I love snickerdoodles.
I do love a good snickerdoodle, but it has to be made right. And I personally haven't tried to make snickerdoodles, so I
And
probably
they
need
have
to.
to be soft.
Yeah, they have to be soft.
I don't like a hard cookie. No, no.
My husband likes, he doesn't like them crunchy, like snappy crunchy, but
Yeah, that's me. I don't
he doesn't want them super chewy. You're very welcome, Chloe. She says, thank you, Tammy. Yeah, you're very, very welcome. I'm definitely, I don't gravitate towards anything chocolate unless it's white chocolate. And
me either. I don't like chocolate.
now, so I will say this, Subway's white chocolate macadamia nut cookies, I do love them. I will say that I do love them, but for me, with my digestive issues, they've started having like a little bit of an aftertaste. And I don't know if that's me or if they've changed something in the recipe. And I'm not, enjoying them as much as I used to. And it could also be the
Yeah.
high amounts of sugar too.
Yeah.
The super sweet cookies are a little too much for me. My body doesn't like sugar like that anymore.
Yeah, I don't either.
No, I love
I
it,
tr-
but my body doesn't like it.
yeah. I tried to make some oatmeal raisin cookies a couple weeks ago. I had my grandbaby with me and I was like, well, let me make her a cookie and Grammy ate one with her and Grammy was up all night with a sick stomach
Oh
too.
gosh, yeah.
So I because I really haven't had sugar like that in a long time.
Yeah.
And I know it was the sugar. I
Yeah.
mean, I just know it was the sugar
Yeah, I don't
because
do
I
it
started
lightly.
feeling bad almost immediately after eating it. and I checked my blood sugar and it was elevated. So
Yeah, I stop at like one cookie because if I go beyond that, then I don't know how my body's going to metabolize it. And I've learned to let my body metabolize before I push myself even further. Now, those Royal Dance cookies that come in that blue tin,
yes.
those
Oh,
are evil. They are so evil
yes.
because you can eat so many of them like you shouldn't.
Those are butter cookies.
Mm-hmm. I love
I
those.
love those. There, I think some of them. I've had some that were shortbread, and
Yeah.
I've had some that were butter cookies.
Well, my husband bought, it's so funny, he bought a tin of cookies and it's a blue tin, blue colored tin, but it wasn't the
Yeah.
Royal Dance brand. And I just had not convinced myself to get into them yet. Um, and he realized that we had had the tin of cookies for over a month and I hadn't opened them. And so he bought me a tin of the Royal Dance brand cookies because he's like, well, since you're not eating the other ones, I figured it was because it wasn't the right ones. I was like, that's awesome. That was awesome. Chloe
Well, at
said,
least he was uh, paid attention to that detail.
that's true.
My husband would have never noticed it. Never noticed it.
Mine pays attention to a lot. I'm very thankful. Those work really, really well sometimes. If it comes down to it. If there's not enough time or energy to spare, those will work in a pinch. um, I have a recipe somewhere for these chocolate cookies. And I was making some kind of recipe, and it was supposed to have malted chocolate something or other, and then it was supposed to be these chocolate wafer cookies, kind of like vanilla wafers, but chocolate version. And
Oh,
we couldn't find them anywhere. I mean, we looked high and low across 5 or 6 different types of grocery stores when we were living in Alabama where we had access to everything. We looked at everywhere and could not find chocolate vanilla wafers or chocolate wafer cookies. We couldn't find them anywhere. So I was like, okay, that's fine. Let me see what it takes to make them. So I found a recipe, and this recipe makes so many cookies. Like so many cookies. But you take and you roll the cookie dough into this log shape, wrap that in parchment paper or wax paper, put it in the freezer, and that will freeze for 2 to 4 months, something like that.
yeah.
So you can freeze these cookies in the roll format for a really long time, but you have to freeze them anyway before you cook them. So you freeze it, then you take it out, and then you cut the slices for the wafer cookies straight from frozen, and then cook them straight from frozen. And they cook really, really nicely, but I haven't made them since we moved up here. Terry says that chewy chocolate cookies are her husband's favorite. I agree, Laura. Chloe, do not try to do too
Yeah.
much when you're concerned about your husband. Yes, take it easy. You need to reserve your stress. Give your stress bank a little bit of a break. That is the hardest thing to learn to do. Let's see. Yes, Laura says that she's going to say she prefers homemade every day of the week, but the package mixes work in a pinch. They do. They do. I mean, and it's not, it's not that they're any healthier or less healthy than, all the sugar we'd be putting in a regular homemade cookie anyway.
Yeah.
Welcome in, Alicia. If you want to do exclamation selfie in the chat, Nightbot will put a link to your channel. For those of you who do not know, Alicia is going to be joining me Sunday night for our After Sunset Sunday. This is the week of everybody joining me for stuff.
Yeah. Hey, Alicia. I'll jump in and say hey real quick.
There you go. Oh.
Yeah. What's today? Today's Thursday. Tuesday night.
Uh-huh.
Oh my goodness. Tuesday night, I was trying to catch the live you had Tuesday night, and I'm like, oh, I can't. And because I knew if I stayed very long, that I would not get done what I needed to get done.
Oh, have you already seen? There's somebody who's already posted their
Yeah,
Santa gnome in
their
the.
gnome.
I'm
Yes,
so
it is
excited.
so
I can't
cute.
wait till January. Oh, oh, good, Chloe. She says the timing is good because she at least already had time off of work, so one less problem. Yes,
Yeah,
absolutely. That does make it a lot less of a problem to already have that
not
time
good
off.
that it happened, but good
Yeah.
that it happened at the time it did.
Yep.
So that's
Absolutely.
one less worry.
Yeah. So, um, I know on Tuesday night we were talking about Eddie. So I have an elf on the shelf. So we have a Christmas elf. Jess has one in her classroom named Max. Ours is Eddie. And Eddie hid behind my wall quilt last night. And he fell out because he was only held up by his hat. So we've got to reattach Eddie's hat before he'll go back to the North Pole. Oh, no reason to be nervous, Alicia. She says that she's so excited and nervous about Sunday. No reason to be nervous. No reason.
No,
I
don't be
promise.
nervous. No, don't be nervous. It's so much fun. You sit here and you can watch and read everybody else's chat, but
Hmm.
you actually get to talk back to them, which is
Exactly.
fun. It's fun because they can hear your tone and know, you know, what you mean, and just easier.
Now, I will tell you, the first time I did a live on my channel by myself, of course, that was the only way I was doing lives at the time. First time I did a live by myself, oh my gosh. You guys probably could not see my hands shaking, but my hands were definitely shaking. And I was trying everything that my voice wasn't shaking. So I totally understand. Oh. She says she's going to have to do a deep
Oh,
cleaning to her
Laura.
sewing room for us. Oh no,
Oh,
Laura.
my goodness, Laura. Yeah, you needed to let those things go.
Yep.
If
Yep.
the holidays are that stressful for people, I'm just going to say this. I learned this a few years ago, and I'm in a group with women in my church, and it's called Heartfelt, and we have like house moms. We go there and we, just meet and we do like a craft and a Bible study. And my heartfelt mom, uh, her her son was a congressman,
Okay.
and so his schedule was never, very easy.
That makes sense.
And before he was voted as congressman, he worked as I don't know what they call him. He was sort of like the manager for a congressman.
Okay.
And so their timing was never good. And she told us, she said, don't ever let traditions ruin your Christmas. She said, because you can always make new traditions. She said, if something is bothering you, then find the easiest solution. And baking cookies was one of the things that came up. And she was like, just buy the frozen ones.
Yeah.
If they stress you, just buy the frozen ones. She's like, the grandkids don't care. They
Mm-mm.
all are cookies. And she's like, because she's got a bunch of grandkids now. And she's like, just buy the frozen ones. They can put them on that sheet and they'll feel like they made them. You know? So,
Yeah.
but to me, that was the biggest lesson is it's okay to take a shortcut. It's okay to not have everything homemade.
Yeah. My pumpkin pie for Thanksgiving, I didn't make the crust, and I usually do. But I knew I was going to be pushing myself too much
Yeah.
to make the crust too. uh, gotta love it. Alicia says that she's gonna have to do a deep clean to
Yeah.
her sewing room for us. No, no, you don't.
I'm with you, Laura.
You don't
I'm with
see,
you, Laura.
you don't see what's over here, and you don't see what's back here. So
You see,
Just
Laura, she said, just a clarification, her GI bleed was caused by her work environment, not her home environment. Grew up in the Midwest and my work ethic is ridiculous. I'm
mhm.
with you. Mine is too.
Mine,
Mine is too.
yeah. I was I was the one that was regularly getting overtime at work when I could
Yep.
work overtime because there was still always a client that needed help or a client that needed something extra or whatever. So I always volunteered for overtime. So I completely understand that. Yeah, I had to learn to start saying no to overtime. I had to stop being the home time person, the overtime person.
Yeah. Well, and like right now, it's hard for me because now I have it in my head that, I've got these grandbabies and I want to spend my Christmas with them. So I've requested to take the 2 weeks, Christmas and the week after.
Yeah,
Oh, well, my boss told me the other day, he says, I only see a problem with that first day, which is payroll,
yeah,
and I know it, but I have a backup. I have a backup person that should be able to do everything I do.
yeah.
And I'm just waiting to see if he's going to be like, okay, go on and take it because I've always said I want to have off at Christmas and never taken the whole week off. It's only 4 days though.
Yeah.
It's only Monday and Thursday of both weeks because we're off Tuesday and Wednesday of both weeks. And, but I have always, even when I'm sick, do not miss payroll day.
Yeah.
Uh, The only time I have ever missed payroll day, I was in the hospital.
I missed I missed Christmas Eve one year. And I was scheduled to work Christmas Eve. I missed
Yeah.
Christmas Eve one year because the night before Christmas Eve, I was in the ER getting breathing treatments for walking pneumonia because I had
Mm.
literally worked myself so hard. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, absolutely agree, Chloe. She says it sounds like in the end for Laura it was a good idea to scale back. Yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
You have to scale back when it becomes too much. And if anybody gives you grief for them, come send them to come find me,
And
and I will talk to
you
them.
see her comment, her daughter it will host Christmas if she can't. See,
Oh,
that's the good thing about having grown kids
yeah.
is you can always be like, look, I can't this year. That's how we did it with my aunt. When my aunt got to where she couldn't do it anymore, we took it over.
I love it,
And I
Chloe. Chloe's chatting and watching Holiday Baking Championships right now.
oh,
do
I'm
you
gonna
know
have
what?
to watch that. I love that.
Do you know why I can't watch that show? Because then I get ideas about things I want to do, and then I feel bad because I can't do them all.
Mine isn't about what I want to do. Mine's about what I want to eat. I want to eat them. I start thinking, oh, that'd be good with a big mug of hot chocolate. That's
Je-
the only kind of chocolate I like is hot chocolate.
Jean says that she's
So,
by herself, so no baking. I understand that too. If you're gonna be the only one eating it, it's really that's one of the challenges with cooking and baking and all of that is very rarely do they ever offer single serving sizes, especially for sweets. Sweets are always share with everybody kind of size desserts. It's very rarely a single serving size, and it's really hard to make for single serving.
that's why I buy the frozen cookies.
Ooh.
And if I want one, I just take one out and throw it in the oven.
Oh, that makes sense. That'd be
And
an
if
easy
I
bake.
if I have the grandkids, I can throw two in there.
There you go. I agree, Jess. She says, it's so much fun. You're going to love it, Alicia. Yes, you are.
Yes.
It's just a
And yes, y'all
conversation.
did so good. Y'all did so good the other night on making those, but I really could not stay long because I it would have sucked me in. Just sucked me in.
Oh, they're so much fun to make.
Yeah,
Aside
I
from,
would have been running to Dollar Tree the next day had I stayed. And I thought about going today before coming home.
Oh, speaking of Dollar Tree, you put something in your kids' bags. The that hand lotion. My store
Yeah.
has them. Thank you, thank you, thank you, because that is the stuff that I use.
I don't even remember which one it was. I just remember I saw it and I'm like, wait, that's good lotion.
Yep, it's that udder cream is
Oh,
the brand.
yes,
Yeah,
yes.
it's fantastic stuff. That
What's it
is the
called? Smooth Udder Cream or something like that? And
just
it looks like it's in a cow bottle.
yeah, just udder cream.
Okay, yeah.
Um, or utterly smooth. That's what it is.
Yeah,
Utterly
utterly smooth.
smooth.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
it.
But that is the best stuff. When we moved up here, I apologize, you guys. I am moving this camera. I'm sorry. Trying not to make anybody sick in the process. But that stuff is fantastic. But when I got up here, I could never find it anywhere. So now knowing that I can find it at Dollar Tree, you have saved me a lot.
Well, if you can't find it at your Dollar Tree, let me know and I'll ship you some.
Oh, you're so sweet. Thank you.
Because they got boxes and boxes of it.
Laura says that her best friend forever actually weighed the tray that she gave her for Christmas. She said it was 14 and a half pounds. I used to do that for all of our neighbors too. This year they'll get a card. I don't blame you. Oh, that's a good question. Chloe's asking Jean, is there a dessert you really enjoy during the holiday season? Alicia's hosting Christmas Eve this year, but she doesn't take requests. You get what I provide, and I have no problem uninviting anyone that doesn't make the environment enjoyable, and the holidays are for joy. Yes, they are.
Yes.
Yes, absolutely. All right, so I get to find my fabric because I have gotten these all mixed around. So I'm going to be digging through as I go. So what I've gotten done on all of my red stars is I've gotten one snowball put on. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my next one and I'm going to lay it across. And I'm going to sew a diagonal from this corner of the red square to this corner. And when I get done with sewing all of these, then I can come back and trim this 1/4 inch off. I won't be doing it on tonight's live. It's going to be what it's going to be. We're just going to get done what I can get done.
Hey, Tammy, I have the 18.
Yay! Congratulations.
So I don't have to cut that one block. Or that one piece.
You were so worried about that too.
I was stressing over that. But, okay, so the question was the favorite dessert.
Mm-hmm.
I am trying to find a good cherry crumble recipe. It's almost like a cobbler.
Yeah.
But it's a crumble. It's like a cherry pie with crumble on top.
It's kind of like peach cobbler, but with crumble.
Yeah, kind of like that. It doesn't have the crust in the bottom of it.
Oh, okay.
Well, I mean, it could if you wanted one. I just like to eat the cherries out of it.
Okay. I know that Tom bought something at Walmart the other week or so in the frozen section. It was supposed to be a cherry crumble or cherry pie or something.
Oh.
And it was awful. It was the worst thing you've ever had. So I don't know what brand it was. Like, I don't look at all of that. So I know cherry is really hard to find good quality on it.
Yeah. I've only ever had that homemade. I've never had it store-bought. So I wouldn't know where to go with that.
I love it. Jean says that she likes fruitcake, but for dessert, almost anything. I had... Do you guys remember, and I don't know if any of you do this, so you can call me a child of the 90s. Did you guys have friends or family, or did you do those fruitcake starters where you shared the fruitcake starter?
Well, yeah, but ours wasn't called fruitcake.
Yeah, it was like friendship cake or something, wasn't it?
Well, yeah, that was the church title.
Yeah.
It was actually called Better Than Sex Cake.
Oh, yeah, no, they didn't call it that either for us. But I think they called it friendship cake, but it was basically fruit cake. I cannot
Yeah,
tell you how old that got after a little bit.
yeah.
Oh. Alicia says that she's a cake and pastry girl, not so much into the cookies. And Katie doesn't like fruitcake. Okay, so I'm not a cake person. Um, Even for my birthday last year, we didn't do anything for my birthday this year, dessert wise. Like we didn't even go out to eat. We didn't do anything for my birthday. It just fell at bad time. Um, and but last year for my birthday, Tom made me funnel cake. That was what I
Ooh.
wanted, was funnel cake, because we'd been to so many fairs and all of that, and I had been wanting to get funnel cake every time I went, and I had not gotten to get funnel cake. So we found a funnel cake recipe or a funnel cake mix or something, and got the little, like, pour spout funnel whatever, and he made me funnel cake for my birthday, complete with powdered sugar. It was kind of sweet.
So funny. This year, when my daughter and her fiance went to the fair, I told her, I said, just go see if they have elephant ears. I want an elephant ear.
Oh, I haven't had one of those in forever either. Oh my goodness.
They did not have a booth for elephant ears. I was so shocked. Because used to, that's why we went to the fair. We'd always go and get an elephant ear.
Yeah.
Now, granted, there's 6 of us in my family. There was my parents and then 4 kids.
Yep. So you could get one elephant
So,
ear and split it.
yeah, so one person would go in the fair, get the elephant ear, and then come out with it. We didn't all go into the fair.
Jean says, Kathy, take your cherries, put it in a pan, take yellow cake mix and a cube of butter, crumble it together with your hands, add nuts if you want, put it over the cherries and bake for 30 minutes at 350.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I have a blackberry crisp that I make that way, so I wonder.
She's saying it would work for the cherry
Yeah,
crumble
because
that
the
you're
yellow
looking for.
cake, yeah, the yellow cake mix is a butter cake mix.
Yeah.
So I bet that would be good.
I still want a funnel cake now. Now that we're talking desserts.
Let's talk about food. What's wrong with us?
I don't know. Well, we're talking about the sweet stuff, the stuff we don't really need to eat for dinner
Yeah.
anyway. Oh my gosh. So the other thing that I like dessert-wise, I like a pavlova. Have you ever heard of them?
Oh, yes. Yes.
For those of you who've not heard of it, it's basically a giant meringue. And, welcome in, Sean. He said, hey, it's Kathy and Tammy. Thank you so much for stopping in. We are working on Land That I Love tonight. It's our Thursday night game. But yeah,
Well, we actually get together to talk and gossip, and we just say we're sewing.
yeah. Well, I actually am sewing.
I am too.
So we're not completely lying. We are sewing.
No, we're not.
We're just not sewing at the regular pace.
I guess I just talk more than anybody else or I sew very slow because I'm so far behind you.
Well, remember, I haven't finished all my blues either. Judy, she's asking, what is an elephant ear? It is, you're using funnel cake mix, but instead of putting it in a funnel or a pour spout dispenser to make it into the traditional funnel cake shape, it's more like a big piece of it all at the same time.
Yeah. Actually, it's like bread. It's like a real stretchy bread, because how they make them by rolling it up in a ball, and then they stretch it out. It's almost like how pizza dough is stretched out.
Oh,
and then they
okay.
throw it over in the grease and fry it, and it makes it puff up.
Oh, okay. And Jess says that it's fried bread dough. I thought it was made the same
Yeah.
way as funnel cake.
Now,
So I'm learning something, you guys.
funnel cakes are thin batter, and
Yeah.
an elephant ear is like a thick batter. It's like a biscuit batter almost.
Oh, gotcha. Sean says that his favorite Christmas dessert is pavlova. Oh my gosh, that wasn't actually what the question was, but that is fantastic. That's I love
Yeah.
pavlova. That's what I was just talking about too. Um, I don't get to make it that often because I'm the only one here who eats it. Um, but I love a good pavlova. I can make it, but there's no sense in me making one if I'm the only one eating it because that's a lot to
Chloe
eat.
says she needs a pavlova.
Yes. Sean says that they get elephant ears at the state fair. Yeah, Cathy was saying she sent her daughter and uh, her fiance to the state fair or the fair near them for elephant ears, and they didn't have any.
Yeah, they
Um,
didn't even have a booth, which is crazy.
Jess is craving carrot cake. Ooh.
Yum.
I will say I do like carrot cake, um, but I do not like cream cheese icing. So I'm
I,
not a
I was going to ask you that.
Yeah, I'm not a cream cheese person at all. Um, I will make cheesecake for people, but I won't eat it. So I won't do any of that. Oh, Chloe
Do
needs to
you
try
prefer a
pavlova.
ganache?
Huh?
Do you prefer a ganache?
That would probably be better
Like,
for yeah, that would work.
or like
I
7-minute frosting or icing or whatever it's called?
Yeah. If I did any like frosting, it would be like a buttercream. I can do a buttercream, but I'm not a huge um I'm not into cream cheese in almost any shape, form, fashion. Katie says that she wants to make an Italian cream cake. It sounds
Oh,
delicious.
yum.
Not that I'm sure I could eat much of it, but it sounds delicious. Sean says that they use his Auntie Margaret's pavlova recipe. Yeah, I have one that's called a rustic pavlova. So it cracks apart and looks kind of brown on top, and oh my goodness, it's like toasted marshmallow. I love it.
Yeah.
Jean says that she can't eat cream cheese. I can eat it. I just don't like it. Now, with that being said, I do not like coconut to the point that if something has coconut in it, I really wish you would tell me in advance so I just don't even bother. Somebody made some orange fluff for the Christmas party that I went to, the Quilt Guild Christmas party that I went to on Monday, and there was definitely coconut in the fluff, and I didn't know that until later. Oh, good night, Chloe. She says good night, all.
Good
Yes,
morning,
good night.
Chloe.
Um, Katie says that the Italian cream cake has been in their family for 5 generations, but I think it might not make it to the next one. I understand that. Not everything gets to make it. The most important things do.
Talking about the orange fluff, I made a cranberry fluff for Thanksgiving. Now, I don't put coconut in it because I can't taste coconut anymore.
Okay.
Since I had the vid, I
Yeah.
can't taste it. I can't smell it at all, which is kind of upsetting because I do like coconut. I like a toasted coconut cream pie,
Yeah.
and yeah, I can't smell it. I can't taste it, so I don't even buy it. I don't put it in anything.
I can handle the flavor of coconut. So like if there's like coconut flavoring, I can handle that, but I cannot handle the texture of coconut. Ooh, Alicia says that her favorite cake is hummingbird cake. I have heard of that.
Oh,
I
that
don't know
is
that
so
I've had it,
good.
but I have heard of it. Jean says that she likes coconut. She just bought some to make no bake cookies. And I agree, Sean. Katie, write it down as you never know when it will be wanted. So that recipe may come in handy when you least expect it.
I did not know what hummingbird cake was until my husband and I got together, and he loves hummingbird cake, and I had never tried it.
Okay.
Well, he got me to try it. Oh my goodness, it is so moist. It is almost like a cake with sweetened condensed milk poured in it. It is so good.
Okay. Yeah, I'm just not
Very,
a
very nice.
I'm not a huge or a huge cake person. I did try to make a cake, gosh, 2 years, 3 years ago. Um, Welcome in, Cindy.
Hey,
Um,
Cindy.
I tried to make this cake a couple years ago, and the top of the cake, or the main part of the cake, was one color of cake, and then you did this cutout, or you pre-baked part of your cake, cut it, and then you shaped it like a Christmas tree, and then you poured the other cake batter in, and then you baked it. And like I got that part to turn out okay, but there was supposed to be an orange ganache that went on top of it, or orange something or other. Um, and it was the funniest fail I have ever witnessed. Um, my top layer of cake started literally sliding off the top of the bottom layer. So
Oh, no.
I managed to make it, and it was delicious, but it did not stay put together. It was yeah, it was a comical
That's why when I make a layer cake, I always toothpick it together in the center so it goes nowhere.
Oh, I couldn't even toothpick this one.
Well,
Oh,
I freeze it first. I freeze the cake first, and
uh,
then when I take it out, I toothpick it.
I had not learned about freezing the cake first at the time. I do know that. That was a new concept still. I'm looking for my next one. Let's see. Sean says he got to quit typing. He sounds drunk and he's stone sober. He said that he wished he had his grandma's rice pudding recipe. Asked her for it, and she told me what was in it, which she did, but said enough when I asked about quantities. It's what they did back then. Yes, it is, Sean. Absolutely. It was, you measured with your heart, but most of the time when they were learning to measure with their heart, they were sitting there being monitored the entire time. So they had somebody who could stop them from measuring too much with their heart. Cindy says that we are all making her hungry. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Jess is.
I tell my kids when they're like, "Mama, how much of this do you use in this?" I'm like, "Use it until the spice gods say stop."
That's
And they're
dangerous.
like, "Did you actually hear spice gods?" I'm like, "Yeah, you do." I'm like,
Oh,
when you're putting it in there and you start going, "This is too much," that's spice god
yes.
telling you it's too much.
Well, Jess is off to bed. She said she'll finish the stream later. Have a great night.
All
Absolutely,
right.
Jess. Good night. Thank you for being here. Appreciate
Good
it.
night, Janice.
Oh my goodness. Glenda says, I think it's in the air, Sean. Yeah.
Yes.
um, so I did not learn cooking from any of my family. I can say that with pretty confidently that I did not learn cooking from anyone in my family. I did not take up learning to cook until I was in college. Um, like I don't, maybe I could do like a scrambled egg or something like that before I left for college. But I do remember calling home and asking how to make the box mac and cheese, because our dorm had like an oven where you could cook if you had a pot or a pan or whatever, and I did. Um, so I remember calling home to ask how to make that, like how to make the box mac and cheese, because I was so clueless. And I've learned a lot, but I do better when I self teach. Judy says that she failed the cooking portion of home ec. I probably would have. I was not in tune to cooking, um, so It was not,
Yeah.
I
Well, now,
follow
it's
directions
so
really well. Huh?
funny. Judy said that about the home ec.
Uh-huh.
Um, have y'all? Do y'all have literary rallies, things like that, where in high school students go and they're scored on their ability to do? It's like a science fair,
Huh.
but it's for like all the curriculum, like geometry and physics and algebra. You go to what they call the literary fair here.
Huh.
I went to the literary fair my freshman, sophomore, and junior year in high school and went to state and placed second in state in home ec. Which is so funny she said that because the main part of that was cooking and table settings for entertaining and things like that. And nobody teaches that now, how to set a
No,
table.
they do not teach that. Glenda says that she didn't learn cooking either, but she learned it when she got married. Yeah, you kind of have to learn it at some point eventually, unless you're really, really good with a microwave and you only buy microwave stuff. Jean says
Uh,
she was given her own cookbook at age 10. So you got a cookbook, I got a sewing machine. I did not get a cookbook, but I definitely got a sewing machine. um, Alicia says that cooking has always been one of her superpowers. She's always loved it. Her grandma was a cooking whiz. Yeah, I would show up at my grandmother's and she would be working with one of my cousins on canning things. I always wanted to learn how to can things. So I will say that. I've always wanted to learn. But I never wanted to learn it badly enough to go take a class on it. But I never, like, that was never something I got taught. And I think it's because I didn't eat, like, collards and I didn't eat all of these other foods that my cousins would eat. My cousins would eat the typical southern foods, but I never have had a taste for them, especially a lot of the greens. So I'm thinking that that's why I didn't get encouraged to learn how to cook and can, is because I just didn't take to that stuff. But
well,
I took to the sewing.
if you want to can the ball, what I guess it's called, Big Book of Canning or whatever, it has everything in it you'll ever need to know.
Well, I've heard that, but I haven't taken the time to actually spend any time in the kitchen to even have any idea what I would want to can at this point. Um, when we were living in Alabama, I spent a little bit more time in the kitchen, but I barely am in the kitchen now. So, like, it's not even something I do enough of to bother with.
Yeah. Well, my favorite thing to can is cowboy candy. And that's only
Hmm.
because I know my husband I eat it.
Fair enough.
But I can meat, I can soups, I can jellies, I can cranberry sauce.
I think
Just
part of
because I don't like cranberry sauce that you buy in the store.
yeah, I think part of it is that I don't cook now. My husband does all the cooking.
Yeah.
So I think that's part of it, is that I don't do any of the cooking right now. Like, when back in Alabama, I did some of the cooking, but I don't do any of it now. So I think that's part of it too. Judy says that her kids laugh because her recipes only require 3 ingredients. Well, I actually have a cookbook somewhere. I
Is
don't
it
know
the four
where.
ingredient cookbook?
It's the 3 ingredient cookbook.
Oh, really? I
Yeah.
have a four ingredient.
Yep, there's the 3 ingredient cookbook. Now, some of those ingredients tend to be pre-packaged, like a soup or something like that, but it's still 3 ingredients.
Yeah.
Jean says, sounds like my kind of cooking, Judy. I can cook just fine, just don't enjoy the kitchen, never have. Yeah, see, I. It's not that I don't. Okay. I can enjoy the kitchen. I will say it that way. I can enjoy I can enjoy the kitchen, but if I go into the kitchen to go cook or something like that, don't expect me to do anything else. Like, I am a one-track wonder. I can sew all day, and I forget to eat. I can cook all day, and I will never touch my sewing machine. I will never touch laundry. I will never, like, nothing. So yeah, I have to, if I were to cook, that would be all I would be doing, is I would be in the kitchen almost nonstop and not doing anything else. And I think you guys kind of like when I sew. So we're going to stick with that. Oh. Judy says they didn't starve. Her kid's laughing at her about the 3 ingredients, but they didn't starve.
Yeah. Talking about that, my husband, oh, Joyce, okay, we
Oh,
understand.
you're fine.
Oh, you're right here. Oh, that's
Yeah,
okay.
you're fine.
I was kind of reading that like she was saying it was late. She was fixing to go. No, that's okay. You're
We are
never
glad
too
to have
late.
you. And Cindy
Oh,
says that she loves to bake, but really could care less about cooking. See, I will bake, but I don't like to cook. If I can throw stuff into the oven, that's what I'm going to do.
my husband and I, before he headed out to Arizona, he headed out at 4:30 this morning,
Ouch, that's
and
early.
yeah, we were talking last night, early morning, while he was getting ready to go. I told him, I was like, I'm going to try to get the dishes done before you get back home. And he's like, I told you I'll pay somebody to come do that for you. Because he knows that washing dishes, I hate doing. I just hate doing it. And I told him, I said, if I'm going to pay somebody, I'd rather pay one of my kids that could probably use the money.
Yeah, I totally understand that.
And I don't like strange people in my house.
Hi, Giovanna. She says that she's just popping in to say hi, but can't stay as it's 3 a.m. I totally
Oh,
understand. Thank you for popping in.
hi, Giovanna. So happy that you at least stopped in to say hi.
Thank you, thank you,
We
thank you.
understand. We
Uh,
understand it is late where you at. Oh,
oh, it's early, 3 a.m.
yeah. Are
It
you up early or up late?
She's probably just getting up to do a bio break in the middle of the night. Cindy says she does make a mean grilled cheese or quesadilla if I'm feeling fancy. I love it. Alicia says that she's more of a savory cook and will bake as needed. Yeah, my husband is not. My husband will pop things into the oven. He is not the baker. I mean, he'll bake some things, but he is not a baker. If he's gonna pop it into the oven to bake, if it's like, especially if it's sweet or something, it needs to be already done up for him because that's not what he likes to do. But he will cook all day, and he'll bake things that are food cook, like that are dinner or whatever. Me, I can't be bothered. I'm gonna have to call it quits
Well, I
here in a
guess
little bit.
I do a little bit of all of it, but I prefer throwing it in a crock pot or the instant pot.
Yeah, crock pot makes for some good food. I do love a good grilled cheese though. That's my when I'm not feeling good. That is my go-to food. Make me a grilled cheese and some tomato soup, and I'm good to be. I'm good to be.
Hmm.
Oh, Giovanna says she's up in between sleep. She was on Debbie's live, now off to sleep, and she'll have me on until she falls asleep. Yay! Awesome.
I'm
That's
glad
it.
to know I'm not the only one that does that. I'll cut a YouTube video on and I'll be watching it just so I could go to sleep to it. And then I'll wake up and it'll be my storm sounds because it's probably done played through 5 videos and then hit the storm sound.
Well, I play country music or rock music or something like that, and I will put my phone underneath my pillow, and so I can hear it, but my husband can't hear it. It's soft enough underneath my pillow that he can't hear it, so it doesn't disturb him. But I play that, so if I get up in the middle of the night and I need to go back to sleep, that's what I do, is I put my music back on. Like, I'll turn it on to sleep timer for like 30 minutes. And that'll get me going. Oh my goodness. These are going together really fast. I forgot how fast they go together.
Well, I can't say mine are going really fast because I'm still on the blue ones. I will be ready for them reds next week, though. I will have them cut. Okay, no, next week it won't be the day after. The week, 2 weeks will be Christmas.
Yeah, let's see. Let me see.
Is that not crazy?
Okay,
2 weeks.
Yep, so next week is the 19th.
The next week will be 26th.
Mm-hmm. So on the 26th, I will be back to working on my blue ones. Because I will probably have these done next week.
Okay.
So these only took 3 weeks for me to do, and that's with me only working on them on the lives.
Okay, so that'll be good for me. It won't take, hopefully it won't take me but 2 weeks.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say.
It shouldn't take long at all. These are so much easier that I'm actually kind of dreading going back to the blue ones because these are so easy.
Yeah, because they don't have the half square triangles, so that should make it a little bit easier.
Oh, it makes it a lot easier. A lot easier. Giovanna says that she suffers from tinnitus, so I need background noise. Yeah, that's kind of my problem too. I do too. And I've started having more and more issues with it. But I will see my doctor on next week, I think. And I will bring it up to her then to see what she wants me to do. Alicia says she's going to take some time with the hubby before bed. Have a good evening, all. Absolutely. See you guys on Sunday. I will put in my best face for y'all. Absolutely. Sleep well. Enjoy the time with the hubby.
Well, Alicia, you don't have to worry about putting on a face because, hey, I don't ever.
Yeah. I occasionally do, but not all the time. I try
to put my lips on because if I don't put my lips on, I'm all one color on my face. But I didn't put them on today, so I'm all one color. I just did good to survive work this week.
Well, if you saw my picture from going to the parade, I was in full-on makeup for that parade. Because I wanted to, if I took any pictures of myself, I wanted to look good. I wanted to feel confident taking a picture of myself, so I had full-on makeup.
Giovanna said if it's not too far gone, it is curable.
Yeah, and it's depending on who she wants to send me to, or all of that, because it's sometimes we have issues getting me into specialists, and sometimes we don't. So I went into a specialist today, and they take my primary insurance, but they apparently don't take my secondary insurance. And so my primary care doctor who sent me over there apparently didn't check that. So they were trying to ask me for my copay, and I said, well, I have secondary insurance. And she said, well, we don't take that insurance. And I'm like, well, I don't have $40 for a copay. She's like, well, we'll bill you or we'll bill them, but we don't process their insurance, so they won't pay. And I'm like, great. So how about, I've got new insurance probably coming up in the new year. So we just went ahead and pushed my appointment off to the new year, and we will see what happens then. And provided I have the new insurance, we will work on it. Giovanna says, get it done because it is not good. No, I know. It's kind of important. I need my hearing. That's kind of one of those things. So, and I don't know how many people do this. I don't know if I'm weird for this, but I have thought ahead. If I were to, let's say I was in a car accident and got injured, or medical or like medical whatever, cause me to not be able to do something or another. What things could I handle losing? Like, what would be the top on my list of things that would be okay? I could handle losing my eyesight before I could handle losing my hearing. And I know that sounds strange, but that is what I could handle, how I could handle things. I could definitely navigate the world better blind, I feel. I think I would handle it. I think I would emotionally handle that better than if I were to lose my hearing. Oh no, Giovanna, she says at the moment her ears are hissing so loud. I feel for you. Yeah, so, I could handle losing my legs and not being able to move my legs, but I need to be able to move my hands and my fingers. So, like, I have a hierarchical list of things that would be the hardest for me to cope with.
I don't know. I have to think about that for myself because I've had hearing loss since I was 14, 15. And y'all talking about going to a specialist. I saw my specialist this week for my ears, and he was happy that this ear the hole is closed, but this ear the hole is closed, but this ear the hole is not closed.
Oh no!
And well, I had tubes in my ears for 20 something years. They're not supposed to be in there that long.
Oh yeah, that's crazy.
And but he was very concerned because he's like, we're probably going to have to put tubes in again if we don't get this fluid. And I always have fluid on my ears, always.
That's crazy.
It's Louisiana.
No.
And I'm allergic to pine trees.
Oh. You have plenty of those around.
Yeah, well, I don't have any on my property.
Gotcha.
There's none on my dad's property that lives right next to me. There's none on his property. There's none on my sister's property. There's because when we moved here, my dad had us cut those trees down.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And so really there's no one around here that has pine trees except for my aunt, and she lives probably about, if you do it in blocks, she lives like 3 blocks away from me.
Oh, okay. Oh, goodness. Let's see. Terry says that she has cicada sounds in her ears constantly. Giovanna says that she also needs her hands. Jean says, not me. I was blind for 3 days when my cornea got cut. Worst 3 days. No, I'm not saying that it would be a walk in the park. I'm definitely not saying it would be a walk in the park. But, and this is going to sound really odd, I could probably still operate my sewing machine without being able to see, but as long as I have my hands. If I have my hands and I can feel things, then I could operate my machine. Now, this machine I might not be able to operate because it is digital and it doesn't announce to me what things are, but there's a lot of technology out there now. And I have people that would help me get set up with the technology that I need to make everything even more accessible. But I can walk around in the dark. Like I will turn the lights off and close the door and be in complete darkness to take a shower. Like, things like that do not bother me one bit. Like, it doesn't scare me. It would definitely be aggravating. It'd be a lot of adjustments. But I don't think it'd be a lot of adjustments for anyone I live with. Because they'd have to learn to not leave things out places.
Or move things.
Huh? Yeah, or move things.
Or move things.
But I have always been fairly good navigating with my hands and my ears. Jean says that she understands that, but she would rather see than hear, although I have really good hearing and noises stress me. Yes, yeah, no, I understand. I understand.
See, I think I'd rather if I had to lose something, I think I'd rather it be my hearing.
I think I am very. I don't. I think my issue with losing my hearing first is that I need music in my life. Music calms and soothes me.
Oh, you
Um,
still have music, even if you can't hear, you feel it.
yeah, but it's not the same. That would be something I would miss more than being able to
Yeah,
see all the beautiful colors. If it makes sense. I mean,
yeah,
it's what I would cope with better. I mean, you can still drive if you don't have your hearing. You can't drive if you don't have your vision. So there would be a lot of limitations that I would end up with. I'm not saying that
yeah.
it would be peachy keen, but I think I could handle it better. Um, yes, Giovanna, she's right. She says the other senses become more acute when you lose one. Yeah, they
Yeah.
do. Um,
And I think I'd probably be okay with hearing because I have had that loss for so long.
yeah.
You
I,
know, I think that's why I would be okay with it. I cannot imagine a world without seeing.
Well, I mean, my husband. So, like, here's kind of one of those differences. I think my husband would be in the same boat. He could handle probably losing his hearing more than losing his sight, because he not only the baseball umpiring and all of that he's done for so many years, but at night he has night lights on everywhere so that he can see. Me, I if I did not have the nightlight set up everywhere, or if the power went out, and we didn't have the nightlights working, or nothing battery operated, I could still navigate the apartment, and I could navigate the stairs and everything else without being able to see it.
Yeah. I can navigate, in my house without lights and without being able to see, but I don't know.
Giovanna says, Tammy, you can't sew without sight. Actually, there are ladies who are blind who do still quilt. I might have to swap to a lot of hand sewing, but you can sew by feel. It will not be perfect, and I would have to have help with cutting. So, like, I would have to use AccuQuilts probably more heavily than I already do, like a lot more heavily. um, and I would have to have help choosing fabrics because I wouldn't be able to see the colors of the fabrics. But there are ladies who are blind who quilt. It is possible. I'm not saying I want to lose my sight, okay? Just for the
Yeah,
record, I'm not saying I want to lose my
it's,
sight.
it's just amazing at all the things you could do even without it though,
Mm-hmm.
because the progress that we've had with so many things. Like I've seen I saw a documentary on it. This guy was blind, but it wasn't like total darkness.
Uh huh.
But he couldn't see. He couldn't see anything. But what they did, they put this thing on him that looked like a Viewmaster
Okay.
on his front, and it was like glasses. And what it did, it brought everything into focus in one little thing, and he was able to see with those. But could
Okay.
you imagine walking around with something like a Viewmaster on your face? I mean, if
It'd be
I, I
awkward.
assume I assume everybody here knows what a Viewmaster is.
It's one of those. It's kind of like the 3D cell phone holder thingies that people are wearing now to play games, and they're running and jumping and falling off of things and scaring themselves senseless, and
Yes.
hitting the TVs and breaking them.
Well, yeah, you said you put that little round thing that had the pictures in it all the way around. You
Mm-hmm.
put it in there, and then you pull the little uh, lever on the side of it to change the picture.
Yep.
We had one of those.
We had one too. Or well, I always played with it at church. When I was at the church
Yeah.
nursery, I'd play with it. I am almost done with all of these. I've
I've got
got
my
4.
36 done.
Yay!
Woo! They're all pressed. They're done. Yes, I'm done with that.
I love it. Giovanna says she would wear it and wouldn't care what people think. Exactly. I mean,
Exactly. If
it's
it
giving you
meant you
back a
could
whole
see
lot.
something, yes. If it meant you could see something, I don't think it mattered.
Mm-mm. And it would
I
be
mean,
kind of like the kids that have the cochlear implants and take them off to reduce the noise and give their brains a break. Yeah,
yes.
you could totally do that with the vision things too. That would work really well. All right, so you are completely done with all 36 blue blocks.
Yes, all my blue blocks. I am done
Awesome.
with them. I'm debating on doing some of the border for the blue blocks,
Okay,
or
like
if
the 4
I,
patch.
yeah, like making those. I'm debating on that. I may just go straight into doing the red and white stars and do the star blocks first. Like I've got the blue star blocks, then now go to the red and white dandies
Okay.
and do those, and then just kind of follow the pattern how it has you doing. But I
Yeah.
actually had some pieces left,
Oh, yay.
not of what I needed, but I had too many squares that I cut out, which is fine.
Oh, yeah. Too many is
But
better than not enough.
yes.
Um, so if you remember, let's see, Judy says 2 more blocks and she has all of her Crown Royal blocks piece. That's exciting. I want to do one of those quilts eventually. I don't drink Crown, so I'd have to get somebody who collects the bags to sell them to me.
If you have a local liquor store, they may have some, or a bar, they may have them
As possible.
somewhere. Yeah.
I can always ask. I know somebody was posting, I don't remember how many they were selling for $15, but I don't have the time right now to do the bat or to do the quilt. But I'm quite sure that, I may end up picking up a client eventually. Oh, Legion saved them for her. That's awesome.
Oh, that's great.
That is amazing. So there's something I was gonna say. What was I gonna
Well,
say?
since I'm done and I'm going to sit here and chit chat, I'm going to service my machine
You're
because I
fine.
haven't serviced it in a few sewings.
Giovanna says to tell the truth, she doesn't care what people think of how I dress even now. My body, my life, my way of being, so long as I respect others and the law. Yeah, and that's how it should be. Um, and it's hard to get to that point for a lot of people. So I totally understand both
Yeah, my
sides.
thing is they don't pay my bills. I don't care what they say.
There you go. I only have 2 more blocks worth, so I've got 8 of these to sew.
Woohoo!
Yep. Gosh, what was I gonna say? Um, I've got to go back and finish my blue blocks. So that will be what I'm doing on the 26th.
Well, while you're finishing your blue blocks, I'll be working on my red and white blocks.
Yeah, these took me. I mean, I've now will have all the snowballs sewn on. And I just need to trim off the extra and press open. Welcome in, Judy neighbors. Welcome, welcome. So I will have all of them sewn. I will need to trim them next week, and press open, and then I can sew my 9 patches to make my stars, and my stars will be done. So I think that they will be done next week. And then
Yeah, to do the 9 patches, we still need to cut that. There's a solid, well, no,
uh-huh.
it's not it's a square. It's not like a half square triangle, not snowballed.
Yep.
And then we have the triangles that we'll have to cut too.
No, there's no triangles for the red. So you're doing the snowball corners.
Oh, no, not for the red, for the blues.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, for the blues, you have those
for the
triangles.
setting. Yeah, no, I'm not ready to set them yet. I got to make some more. Oh, I know what it was. I know what it was. Um, so you remember the one block that I made that was the wrong colorway, or like the
Yeah,
swap color? So,
like mine.
mhm,
Like mine.
yep. So
Like
my
this.
so my gift swap for Monday was supposed to be a name tag, and I was going to paper piece it, and I've been running out of time because I've been so swamped trying to get everything else done. So I really wasn't going to have time to do it, and I decided, okay, well, I will take that block, sew some extra fabric on it, or put their name on the extra fabric, sew that extra fabric on there, and just make a name tag out of that. And that's exactly what I did. So
Mhm.
the name tag is 3.5 inches wide by I think I maybe added 3/4 of an inch, so just over 4 inches tall. And that block had so much starch in it. So after I got it quilted and bound, I took it to the sink and washed it, and that worked really well. I just let it sit to dry, and we are golden. All right, I am actually done. Now I'm just going to cut them apart, and
Yeah.
I should have just left them all together like I did last time. That's what I'll do. That's what I'll do. I'll just fold them together because they fold together nicely. Oh, let's see. Oh, good question, Judy. She says, "Hey, Judy H, I want a picture of your crown quilt. I'm going to make one for my son." I I saw one at a um, at a craft fair. They were selling the completed quilt, and they made it like an Irish chain. And that was the most gorgeous one I have seen yet. So that's what I want to make when I make one. Oh, let's see. What's the. Laura's saying that she bets Giovanna that she is older than Giovanna. Oh. I don't know anybody who has not had a rough month this month. I think we're all trying to vie for that rough month award.
Yeah, this mine isn't so much that it's rough. It's just I'm go, 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 go. And, trying to come off of illness, that just makes it even harder.
Yeah, you're not having any time for a break.
No, and my plan is to now, I mean, this week and next week are going to be, or this weekend and next week are going to be crazy because my plan is to get enough videos out to get me through the end of the year and take the last 2 weeks of the year off
Oh, that'd be awesome.
of everything. My job, videos, and I may still do it even if I don't have the videos. So, I mean, because well, no, I can't do that because I'm doing Vlogmas. So
Yep.
I can't do that. I have to get a video out.
Oh, so
And I
many
know a lot of people
things.
are like, you don't have to do anything. You can do what you want to do, but it's like, no, I feel like I committed to it. So,
That's
I
why
mean,
I didn't bother with Vlogmas. I didn't.
yeah.
I didn't want to
Well,
do Vlogmas or Quiltmas or whatever. I didn't want to do that
and
this
thinking
year.
about it, I do a video every day of the year. Why would Vlogmas be any different? You know? So I can count on one hand the number of days that I don't have a video in this year.
Well,
I mean,
the
I think I've only missed like 3 days, if that.
I think I know why it's more stressful at Christmas, because at Christmas you're also doing all of this other to make sure that everything else on your plate is taken care of, because there's so much more going on at Christmas. Oh, gotcha,
Yeah, Jim,
Giovanna.
but it is that.
She said because her biggest problem is not having enough money for the most of it. Yeah, that's my problem too. I'm in that boat with you. So we played left, center, right at the Quilt Guild, and we'll play it again with the other guild on Wednesday next week. So this upcoming Wednesday. And the lady who won left, center, right, we played with fat quarters. Have you ever played left, center, right?
I've never heard of it.
Okay, so you have these dice, and so there's 3 dice. Each of them have an L on them. Each of them have a C for center. Each of them have an R for right, and each of them have a dot, or a star or something like that. The ones we played with on Monday night had a dot. So you start with 3 fat quarters, and everybody's sitting at the table or standing at the table or whatever. You roll the dice, and it represents each of your fat quarters. So if you roll an L, you pass a fat quarter to your left, to the person to your left.
Okay.
If you roll an R, you pass it to the right. If you roll a C, you put it in the center. And if you roll the dot, you keep it. And so the goal is you end up, Giovanna says, night all, I'll be lurking now. Absolutely, Giovanna.
All right, Giovanna. We'll see you later.
Oh, yeah. So the goal is to be the last person to have a fat quarter. The person with the last fat quarter, or has the last fat quarter and everybody else is out, is the one who wins everything. So if you run out of fat quarters, you stay in the game, because the person to your left or to your right may pass you one. So the lady that was to my right was the one who won, but she didn't really want all these fat quarters. And I said, well, I sew with everything. Like I'm a scrap quilter, so I will sew with everything that I get. And I do not discriminate. It does not matter what the print on it is. I don't care. It doesn't matter. And so she said, okay. So when she won, she took the 3 fat quarters that I had brought that she really loved, and maybe 1 or 2 others or something, and then handed me all the rest.
Oh.
So I came
So
home.
you racked up, didn't you?
I did. And last year at both quilt guilds, I won left, center, right. I don't win on drawings or raffles or anything else, but that game I tend to do fairly decent.
Yeah. I still have not gotten into a guild, but I'm like, I don't have time to.
Yeah. So one of mine is Monday nights. They only meet the 3rd Monday. But on the other Mondays, you can go and sew. So there's no obligation for you to stay there or be there every Monday night, just the first Mondays or the 3rd Mondays. And then the other one, we go and we hang out and we sew for hours. And we're there all day. And then, you can, stay for as long as you feel like, or you can leave, whatever. And we stay and have lunch and all that. It's all that kind of fun stuff. But that one is harder if you work, because it's during the work day.
Yeah. So, we have one that they call themselves, I can't remember what they called. I probably have the guild thing over here as to what they called. I think it's called midnight something, but they're not at midnight.
Okay.
They're like 5 or 6 o'clock in the evening.
Okay.
And which, I could do that if it's on a Friday. I could do any time on a Friday.
Yeah.
But I think they're like on a Wednesday or a Thursday, and I'm just like, I could do 6 o'clock if it's on a Thursday.
Yeah.
But I'm like, other than that, I'm at work. Judy's got 25 blocks done.
Yay.
She said she'll post it on the Facebook page.
Absolutely. I'm looking forward to seeing what you do with them. I'm looking forward to seeing them and then what you do with them.
Yeah.
So, all right. Yeah. Well, I think I am done for the night. I've got to get back to what's hiding behind my Christmas quilt and get more of it done. Deadline is approaching. I know it's there.
Yep. And
So,
when, let me see, I'm reading it. And when are we going to see what's behind that quilt?
um, close to Christmas. If I get it done before, I will get it. I will, as soon as I get it done, I will do a short probably
Okay.
to go over it. And then I've still got to write the pattern. So
Oh,
that
okay.
that's the one
So
that
this is your creation.
it is.
I love it.
It is. I'm so looking forward to you guys seeing it. And I've learned so much throughout the process of making it. So I'm going to make you guys' job a lot easier for you. You won't have to figure it all out on your own. I will be there for it, every step of it. So I'm going to go ahead and say good night. And thank you all for being here. Thank you for coming to hang out with me and Cathy. And if you guys have not checked out Cathy's channel, please go over, check out Cathy's channel. Go hit subscribe over at her channel as well. See all the cool videos and giveaways she's doing this month. And we will see you guys. I will be back on Sunday night, and we'll have Alicia Quilty Bird here hanging out, coming to chat, coming to get introduced to everybody. So come see me Thursday. Come see me Sunday night at 8 p.m. Mountain Standard Time.
And I was going to say, I still have about 8 giveaways to do. I've done a few of them, so you have to watch the videos to catch those. But I have about 8 more, I think, to do.
Okay.
I think. So we may do one next week.
Yay!
When we come on here, we can probably do some next week, because I mean, there's not enough days in a week to do 8. You know,
yeah, that's true.
I could do one every single video and still have one left over, but yeah, so we could do some next week.
Yay! So you guys will definitely want to tune in next Thursday night as well. I'm also live here on Tuesday night, and Cathy has videos every day. So,
every day.
All right. Thank you all for being here. Hit that thumbs up, like on